All right, so we had fun with that one. This one is going to be up here where we're playing the G7 with F and B. Now I want to talk a little bit about my right hand picking. I'm mostly using regular pick strokes, but for these chords I'm playing hybrid picking to get the pick on the lower note, and my second finger is playing the upper note. Of course, you could play it with a pick, or you can play it with your fingers. You could play the whole example with your fingers. All of these are possible because the things are going by relatively slow. So you don't have to have amazing technique to be able to get these things. Mostly we just have to keep all of the things juggling in our mind at the same time so we know when to move. Okay? So the first chorus, we just played one of the varieties of ways to get through. There's the 1 chord, right below it is the 4 chord, back to the 1, and then we're going to head back to the 4 chord, or up there, and then back to the 1, and then 6 is at the 11th and 12th frets, A minor 7, D7, and then G, E7, A7 and D7. Make sure you remember that the 2 chord in the quick part of the turnaround is a dominant 7th chord rather than a minor 7th chord. And after I did that, I jumped to this little area here at the 7th fret. And you might recognize that melody from previous. But the reason I repeated it now is I want you to see that it's available in a very convenient location up here. And that a lot of times, it's not about how much you know, it's just how well you know what you know. And so that's a good little idea, and so we want to make sure we can play it in a couple of different places. So we say, then punch. And then the next melody, stay there. And then I don't remember what I did, but I probably did something like, and then up to the 6th. No melody on the 6th. Then the 2, I'm reaching over. Maybe I'll go back to my position here. And then I play the A minor with my 3rd finger there because I can reach over and get it. And my D7 is with my 2nd and 3rd finger. You can do different things, but I think that's probably a realistic way of getting it. And again, this turnaround is just freestanding. And then we say, now that little idea, if you know your minor pentatonic box shapes, this would be what I call box number 4, which is G minor pentatonic. But I put the 6th in. And it's a really neat little sound. Okay. I might also mention, I didn't play it in the etude, but you could play, if you're in this position, that's the G7 as well. All right. And then C7 is right below it. So there's another possibility. When we go down a set of strings, we have another inversion of the chords right above where we are, so you can have even more variety. Then we played the 2. I think on the next chorus, I went down to the 6 here, and then 2 down here. I think I did 3 choruses on this one because I was in the flow and I thought there was more stuff to explore. So let's just talk about this dominant 7th. You can get the notes that I played off the tab, but let's talk about the concept a little bit. If I move down to this F and B, which is the flat 7 and the 3rd of G7, then right above there, I just move the F up an octave, and I have what we would think of as an inversion. And if I do that again, then I get another inversion, which is up in the melody territory, so I might not use it very often, but it's there if I need it. And then there's another one even higher up, which would be very useful as well. And then there's another one that's down low, which is a little not so useful because it's so low. But if you look at it, and this is quite magical, you've got I'm going to make this work, a diagonal right across the guitar at the 7th up to the 13th fret. And it's a G7. Those two notes make a little diagonal right across the fingerboard. And another cool thing is if you move up 6 frets from that, which is half of a chromatic scale, I move right up to here. I've got it all right there, or down here. And the organization of that is so profound because you can see it so nicely. The only little glitch is between the G and B strings, that shape is 1 fret extra large because of the way we tune the guitar. Okay? So if you are wondering, well, how does he see where all those things are? Well, years of practice, but also there's a logic to it. Right across this diagonal line. Okay? So in the 3rd chorus, I went down and I played the sort of the lower root. Actually, I'm going to check that. It's the 4th chorus because the 1st chorus had just the chord punctuation. The 2nd and 3rd choruses had, the B.B. King kind of simpler melodies. And then I stretched out a little bit and I went to the G7 here, which led me to the A minor and the D there, and then back down to. And I didn't really play the chords on the turnaround. I just played a nice little melody there. Okay, so that's the moving up the neck in G.